Hello everyone, my name's Neo, and you're plugged in to The Construct. Today I'm bringing you my review of the Gears of War 4 beta, wherever the fuck you're from, however you say it. I'm calling it a beta because it's my channel. And why are you reviewing a beta? Well, because I ain't got nothing else on this channel, so I might as well. Anyway, Gears of War 4, or Gears of 4, as I like to call it. Get it? Because 4 sounds like war. Gears of War 4. Gears of 4. I'm a big fan of this series. I've been playing the series since the very first game launched back on the Xbox 360. But in recent years, thanks to Gears of War Ultimate Edition, I've been quite worried for the future of the franchise. Mainly because Gears of War Ultimate Edition at launch and for several months after launch was a complete and utter fuck show. Fuck show, it's like a shit show, but with fucks. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Unplayable. Me and all my friends, which is, quite a few. I'm not the most popular man in the world, but I've got a few friends. We all played it and we all hated it. It was terrible. It just did not work. But that's not what this video is going to be about, because if it was, we'd be here all day. But needless to say, I was worried for the future of the franchise once the Coalition took over and once I played the Ultimate Edition. I didn't have high hopes for this beta, but I'm happy to report, so far at least, things seem pretty good. Obviously it's a beta, so there's issues, and those issues will hopefully be ironed out before release. But so far so good. None of the issues I had with the Ultimate Edition are present, so it's looking good so far. On to the issues I did have with the beta. Let's start with the negatives first. Weapon balancing. The Lancer especially. Holy shit, this thing is overpowered. It will absolutely tear through you. It is ridiculous. Which is okay for like a single player game, but if they keep this Lancer, if they don't rebalance this Lancer, come launch where everyone's playing it, you're going to get these no skill noobs coming on and just lancering everybody from a distance, and it's going to be fucking shit. So that needs to be nerfed big time. The drop shot as well, I don't know whether it's just because I suck at it, probably mostly because I suck with it, but that seems a bit overpowered as well. I don't know, that might just be me, but the Lancer is definitely overpowered to the point of being ridiculous. The new Hammer Burst, for example, is a complete opposite, however. I used that thing and I might as well have been firing pellets of sperm at my enemies. It was fucking useless. Which is a shame, because I really like what they've done to change the weapon. I never liked it before. I hated the way it handled. Now I kind of like it, and it sounds really cool too, but it's useless. You might as well be throwing feathers at your enemies. Is fucking shit. So they need to buff that and nerf the Lancer. Other issues are with the enemy AI when you play the team deathmatch with the hardcore AI, which I've played the most of because I had the most fun with that. I quite liked it. But the AI in that, they're good. They don't fuck around as they should, or shouldn't, because they are hardcore AI after all, but they're very cheap at times, and to the point where it looks like they're cheating. I've come up behind an enemy, he's got his back turned to me, and he's shot me dead with a shotgun, like as if he was facing me. So, I don't know what, do these new enemies, because they're not locusts, they're would-be locusts, whatever the hell they are, the swarm, they look just the same as the fucking locust to me, but whatever. Do these guys have shotguns up their assholes? Is this like a new character thing, or... I don't think so. So yeah, that needs to be addressed. I've also seen enemies crouching down to pick up grenades. I've gone up to kill the enemy, and they've shot me without even looking at me or pointing their fucking gun at me while they were crouching to pick up a fucking grenade. This needs to be addressed. Obviously, again, I know it's a beta, so these issues will likely be ironed out before release, but I have to review what I have to go on right now, and this is what I experienced, so hopefully they'll fix that. Performance-wise, it's all over the place. Again, it's a beta, I know, don't complain and bitch. But it is all over the place. It's supposed to be 60 frames per second, and it clearly isn't, at least not to me. With frame rate would often dip, which is a shame because they've really improved the movement speed with this game, and because of that you really notice when the frame rate dips below 60. You need a constant locked 60 FPS, otherwise the experience is just not optimal, and it's gonna fuck you up. But yeah, this is a beta, so hopefully that will be fixed before. That is the major thing. That and the Lancer. If you're American, Lancer. That and the Lancer really need to be fixed before release. Apart from that, pretty good. I don't have any other issues with the game for the most part. So yeah, good job so far, Coalition. You're making up for the complete shit show that was the Ultimate Edition, at least so far. On to things I liked. The maps are pretty cool. It's only 3, but they're alright. They're a bit lifeless, but they'll do. Hopefully there'll be a slightly better maps come release, but yeah, what we have so far is okay, and there's nothing too terrible. Like I mentioned earlier, they've increased the movement speed a lot, which I really like. This feels much more responsive and faster than before, but not to the point where it no longer feels like Gears. They haven't dumbed it down like they did with Judgment, and I kind of like Judgment, but I realised a lot of people didn't, and I agree with a lot of the gripes people have with that game. So this feels faster, more responsive, but it still feels like Gears. It still feels heavy, so it's good. I like what they've done there. I like the new sprint cover mechanics. You can sprint over cover, and if there's an enemy on the other side, you can kick that enemy, and that will stun them, and that will obviously leave them open to attack. You can either pull out your shotgun and insta-gib them, or pull out a knife and shank them in the dick, which is nice. Instant kill. You can also yank enemies over cover, and also shank them for an instant kill, but both of these moves can also be countered, which is quite cool. I don't have any footage of them in this gameplay because I didn't know how to do it until I had captured this gameplay. But from what I've seen, and I've done my research on this, yes, you can counter all of these new moves, so you won't have people abusing them to the point where they become an issue, which is good. The active reload has also been changed. You no longer have to empty your entire clip to get an active reload. You know how Gears before, everyone would be pulling out their shotguns and firing into thin air just to get an active reload. You no longer have to do that. You can just get an active reload without firing a single shot. However, after you've done that, you'll be on a cooldown timer, and you won't be able to get another active reload until that timer runs out. So they've balanced it. Look at that. Balance. Wow. So that's pretty cool. I like the way they've done that. I also like these new bounty cards they've introduced. They're passive things. They're mainly just for gaining extra XP. There's nothing game-breaking like you would get in Halo 5 with the rec packs. There's nothing here that would give you an unfair advantage, like being able to spawn a fucking Scorpion tank at the beginning of a round like you could in that game. These literally just allow you to get a few extra XP and whatnot. And obviously if you don't meet the requirements during the match, you'll lose that card. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like stuff that doesn't interfere with the core gameplay or give you a clearly unfair advantage over the rest of the team, or the enemy team for that matter. You hear that? 343? Yeah, cunts. And of course, I love all the gore and violence. It's fucking awesome. I love all the particle effects, all the blood spraying. I'm a sick bastard. I know I'm sick. Look at that. Look at that. See that? Fucking awesome. Sick bastard. But that's cool. I do hope they change that god-awful blood splatter effect on the camera screen. Oh my god, that is terrible. This looks like... has anyone seen that horrible, terrible, shitty game from that hack developer, Digital Homicide? I think it's called The Slaughtering Grounds. This looks like that. It looks like they've taken a JPEG of some blood splatter and stuck it on the screen. It's awful, and they need to get rid of that and change it. This is ridiculous. Graphically, I'm a little disappointed, personally. Yes, I know, it's a beta. Stop fucking shouting at me. I can hear you all shouting at your screens now. But yeah, this is supposed to be somewhat representative of the final product, and I am quite disappointed. This doesn't really look any better than the Ultimate Edition does. I expected a little bit more from the graphics here. Hopefully they'll maybe improve the graphics a little bit before release. Again, we are 6 months out to release date, so there's a lot that can be changed in that time, but so far I'm not impressed with the graphics. But you know, graphics aren't everything, but Gears of War to me was always a console defining game as far as graphics go. It was always one of the best looking games on the Xbox 360, and this so far isn't even the best looking game on the Xbox One, yet alone on any other system. It's a bit disappointing, but that's just me. You might feel differently. So, all in all, pretty impressed. I remain cautiously optimistic, as we all should at this point with the gaming industry. We should never get our hopes up too much. But yeah, like I said, I am a huge fan of the series, which was why the Ultimate Edition was such a fucking disappointment to me. And it was so bad I had to return the game and get a refund. That's how bad that was. With that in mind, I am cautiously optimistic with this game. Hopefully they'll address the issues I've mentioned and improve a few things here and there. And if it launches without being a complete and total fucking train wreck, it could be onto a winner here. So keep an eye on this, but don't get your hopes up too high until it actually comes out, eh? I won't talk about the fucking ridiculous, asinine, disgusting season pass bullshit they're trying to pull with this game. If you want to know my opinions on that, let me know. I might make another video about it. So, synopsis. What's bad? Enemies. AI controlled enemies. Cheap, cheaty cunts need to be addressed. Weapons. Some are unbalanced. The Lancer is way too overpowered and the Hammer Burst is underpowered. Frame rate, all over the place, not a constant 60 frames per second. That needs to be addressed, and that needs to be locked to 60 frames per second come launch. No exceptions. Graphics, in my opinion, slightly disappointing, but that's just my own personal taste. On the good side, gameplay feels great. Speed has been increased without dumbing it down like they did for Gears of War Judgment. Maps are pretty decent. New cover mechanics and melee mechanics, pretty fucking cool, and they can all be countered, which is even better. New active reload system is really cool. I don't know why they didn't think of this earlier, but regardless, I like what they're doing there. And bounty cards, nice new addition, and don't break the game. So that about wraps it up. Let me know what you think in the comments section below, and don't forget to tickle that like button or the dislike button if you're an arsehole. I don't care. And don't forget to subscribe to The Construct. My name was Neo, and now I'm getting out of here. By the way, Joe, holy shit. I mean, I didn't do great either, but fuck.